So yeah, like so you were about to say something connecting to the behind the scenes stuff, or like I think like pre-movie interviews when it
You
comes
were
to the
gonna right
Matrix
into the
part
meat,
four.
I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, sure.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
let's skip the verbal foreplay. Let's just get into it.
Right. Yeah, so I was watching, I don't know exactly what it was. It was a 1 minute clip or something,
Mm.
a bit longer, about the actors like Keanu Reeves and is it Carrie Ann Moss?
Right, Carrie Ann Moss. Yeah.
Yes, talking about the newest Matrix.
Hmm.
And they were very euphoric about it. Like they were saying, yeah, the original Matrix changed culture and it's still in culture everywhere. You know, the red pill term
Mm.
and the glitch in the Matrix and all of these kind of things. And they were so grateful to be part of it. Like they were really enjoying that, it seems. And then you are completely right. Keanu looks just so bored in this whole trailer. It's kind of weird to me.
I look if it's the role he's playing, like if in the script it says Neo looking bored, you know, like okay, he nailed it. But
Yeah.
who wants to see this kind of stuff? And I was just telling it to you like in before the stream started. It's the same shit that I was being able to watch like when I was seeing footage from the latest James Bond movie, and the parallels are really interesting. You know, like both are actors who have played their role for a long time, and they're like coming back, like obvious cash grab and all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
almost you can see how euphoric they are, and by euphoric I mean well, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
actually quite interesting because I wonder what Keanu was truly thinking when he first got contacted about making a new Matrix movie.
Mm,
Um, because even though people didn't like Matrix 2 and 3,
mm,
Reloaded and Revolutions,
right.
I thought it was decent, not like as crazy as the first one, but still.
Hmm.
But it was sort of finished, right?
Hmm.
The trilogy was done. We had the story completely finished. And now, if you look at the trailer, and we're gonna go over it step by step, but if you look at it in general, to me it seemed just like the next Neo iteration, which would be number 7, right, in the
Hmm.
Matrix, um, will go through the same thing again. And this was just with slight adaptations in the story, I guess. But it seemed like it's not really something new. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
What's really interesting is also like the whole backstory, because you were just mentioning they probably got the actors in a room like, hey, I got a pitch, we're gonna get a new Matrix. And I remember like because the fact that we're gonna get a new Matrix is brand new news. A few years ago, everyone was asking, "Oh, is there going to be a Matrix 4?" And I still remember like one of those Wachowski siblings, whatever. Um, they were always stating no. There's never
Yeah.
going to be a fourth one, and it's so interesting like to see why and how. Like, okay, obvious cash grab and all this stuff, but apart from that, because that's obvious, I'm not going to discuss this. It's a fucking cash grab and that's it. But the fact is, how coherent are they gonna make it? Is it actually gonna make sense? Because, um, you know, spoiler everybody, fucking Neo dies in the end. Fucking Trinity dies in the end,
What?
and we see like the trailer to part four as if nothing as if nothing happened, you know. And yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
bit.
mean, this is pretty much the scene the architect was talking about in the second
Mm-hmm,
Matrix, right?
mm-hmm,
Nobody really understood
mm-hmm,
that the Matrix has iterations, and in the original trilogy, it was the sixth iteration of the Neo, or
mm-hmm,
if, of the One, rather, because they realized that no matter how perfect they create the Matrix, there will always be some human that questions it
mm-hmm,
because of the nature of humans and how individual they are. So they had to actually make this intentionally. So the One, for example, was intentionally designed to be part of the Matrix
mm-hmm.
because he then chooses to save Zion and go back to source and reboot the whole system, so
Right.
they can keep living with the humans as batteries for the
Mm-hmm.
machines, right? So for me, this just seems like this is now number 7. I mean, it's also called Resurrection, so they just. I mean, I also like the name because it's just rebooting it, right? It's
Yeah.
resurrecting from the dead, as you used for the thumbnail. Um, so it just seems like it's the same thing over again. I mean, even if you look at the trailer, there are similarities to the old
Hmm.
movies quite a lot. They're not even being like subtle about it. It seems
Oh,
like it's
absolutely not.
bluntly the same thing, and that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, that's like it's almost insulting to a point, because
Yeah,
I could understand, like give me 2 minutes of trailer footage, I'm just gonna like, come up with some bullshit. Okay, it's just like 2 minutes of gritty cyberpunkish stuff. We see a few characters we haven't seen before, and then maybe in the end you're just gonna see like one black cat or something like that, like very so
yeah.
like keep it to one. But I don't know if you're familiar with the term key jangling.
No, I'm not.
Well, it's basically like this. It's a new term that started off, I think, with the Star Wars sequels, and the fan base was using it often because what the Star Wars sequels did was basically key jangling. So what that means is you watch the movie, and then you see, for example, Yoda. And then you hear Yoda's theme in the background. This is like key jangling in your face, like, "Hey, remember this shit?" It's like key
Oh, I
jangling in
see.
front of a kid. I don't. I can
Oh, I get it.
I can see why it's called key jangling. It doesn't make that much sense to me, but but I can see why. Um, and this trailer, it fucking stinks of it.
Yeah.
It's so on the nose, where yeah,
There was
it's
also
really obvious which kind of people are the main target audience. It's I don't think it should like call any new people, like it gets like new people into it. It's just like, yeah, hey, remember the old movies, like you want to feel this kind of sensation again. That's all that it is.
yes, exactly. It's the whole thing. Another term there's also just fan service, right?
Yeah,
And
that's another good word. Yeah, absolutely.
yes, because I recently watched a little bit of The Mandalorian, for example, which
Mm,
was told to me that's actually a great show, and I think
mm,
it is. But if you look at it, and it was done by the guys I forgot the names who did Game of Thrones,
mm. You mean the
and
Dave and Dan, or
yes,
okay.
exactly, they
Mm,
did The Mandalorian apparently,
okay.
and it's full of fan service. Like it
Yes.
stinks of it, like
Yes.
completely. And this is, but the interesting thing is, this is why it works because the old fans are euphoric about it and they buy everything from it and watch it 5 million times because they are orgasmic pretty much because of it. And I think this is the business model there. The same with Matrix. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want new people and they don't really want to try a new story arc or something
Mm-hmm.
crazy about it. They just want to have the old fans back because they know this works. Pretty much what has worked back then works right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the idea, I think. So prepare for Matrix being full of fan service, man.
Absolutely,
I'm calling
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. So I have my I have internet with me. Shock,
Nice.
shock. And I was scrolling to Google, and I was actually googling why is Matrix Fear gonna made? Why do they make Matrix 4? And there's a little article. I'm not gonna put it on. I'm just gonna briefly skip over it. It's from Screen Crush, and it says Lana Wachowski reveals the reason for resurrecting Neo and Trinity in the Matrix 4. Do you want to check it out?
Yes,
All
please.
right,
I'm
let's
very
do it.
curious.
Okay, I'm gonna skip through it. The Matrix Resurrections trailer doesn't play coy. Neo and Trinity are back. How they are back, though, is not entirely clear, and probably won't be clear until the film actually comes out this December. But the why they are back, why? The director Lana Wachowski wanted to make a new Matrix movie for the first time in almost 20 years, and why it features the return of the classic characters played by Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, instead of rebooting the property with a new cast, has been revealed. Okay. Wachowski explained the motivations behind Neo and Trinity's surprising return at a recent, but well, it's not surprising. It's not gonna make a
Yeah.
fucking Matrix without them. At a recent panel at the International fucking Festival, or whatever. Again, this doesn't explain the in-story reasons why Neo and Trinity are back, and this is something I'm really gonna look forward to. How
Yes.
are they gonna retcon them back into the story? Like, I have seen theories, for example, that when they are in the Matrix and they wake up, the place where they wake up is just another Matrix, like a dream within a dream bullshit, all this stuff,
Yeah.
which would be really cheap, and which would cheapen a lot of sacrifices, but uh, that would be one way. Do you have any like theories how it could happen, how it could work out?
Oh God, that's
I mean, like
Well,
logically speaking, it's tough, but they gotta come up with something, right? Because it's actually, I know you haven't seen the movie, but it happens in The Rise of Skywalker. It's a fucking stupid title.
you keep coming up with this.
Yeah,
I guess I need to watch it.
dude, you gotta watch it. Like, maybe have some homemade cigarettes or anything with it. It's gonna be good. So they do this stupid thing. I think you heard about it in the beginning of The Rise of Skywalker. Just have like Palpatine is back. He's just back, and of course everyone was watching the movie. It's like, how the fuck did this guy come back? He like evaporated and exploded a million times, And then the only explanation the viewer gets in the movie is like, I have died before, It's like, what the fuck? And see, I'm gonna be really interested, like from a writing standpoint, how Wachowski has done this shit, and how she's gonna put Neo and Trinity back. But if it's gonna be like that kind of movie where they are just back and it's not gonna be explained, I'm like, I'm gonna be super pissed off.
Yeah, I want at least have a very cheap and cheesy explanation instead of none. I mean,
yeah.
So at least I can talk shit,
Absolutely.
But I don't have a theory really, because I cannot think of a scenario in what way they come back as like living humans.
Yeah. Also, like this, the story is also finished, isn't it? Like,
yes, exactly.
Like, see, it's really surprising. I just came up with Star Wars, but the parallels are really, really interesting, because you and we are both fans of like the old movies, and after Episode 6, this is a fucking end of the whole saga. What else is gonna come afterwards? It's perfect ending. Everything is finished. Every character arc has come to an end. It's just gonna reboot it all over again. And I feel the same with Matrix. Some stories are just fucking finished, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have like a trilogy, which is usually exactly the 3-part series, right? And also with the Matrix, right? I mean, Neo dies in the end, and he was negotiating for peace between them, and this was then done, so it was fine. Everything was set. He sacrificed himself for peace between the machines and the humans, and the story was over. So why are we getting a new Matrix now?
Yeah.
Like literally in the movie, a new Matrix, not just a movie. So I don't understand where this is coming from. Did the machines just decide, fuck him, we're just gonna do it again? What's going on there? It's just, and then how does he come back? Like, because he died as a human, right?
Yes, in the real world, so to speak.
In the real world, so he's
actually, he basically became Jesus in the end. So
yeah, right.
He actually died like in this cross state. Jesus.
It was kind of cheesy, but
so okay, let's check out what the director herself says.
Is it her? Or is
I don't know. What says Lana Wachowski? So for the sake of simplicity, I'm just gonna say her.
Yeah.
I was about to say like, the Wachowskis, or the Wachowski siblings, but apparently it's just one of them. The other one retired from writing. Okay.
Well, whatever, I guess.
And also, this is an interesting kind of trivia. The Lana Wachowski is doing Matrix 4, right? And the other one is Lily Wachowski. And Lily Wachowski already retired before part 2 and 3. And it's interesting where the quality is, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's just another indicator that I don't have much hope for this movie. Also, we're gonna dive into the trailer very soon. Let's check out what the director herself says.
Wait, so
yeah, sure.
1 second. So what's it, Lily? Wasn't this a dude once? Whatever.
Yeah.
So Lily only made the first movie ever.
It's a co-production between the two brothers, formerly brothers.
Yes.
And then I think it was either part 2 or part 3 where one of those two just jumped off and said, I don't want to go on. I'm going to retire from directing. And it really shows because I gotta say, like, it gets worse with time, because like the best movies, of course the first one, and the second one is the second best movie, and the third one is the worst of those three.
And the interesting thing for me is it's not just, I think the story could have actually been conveyed much better. It's just they that the quality of the movies just is not
Yeah.
like they went too deep into philosophy in the second and third
Mm-hmm.
one without really explaining much, just going crazy with it,
Mm-hmm.
and they sort of wrote themselves into this corner. I think with Agent Smith being, yeah, also living in the real world and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So it was a bit weird.
Yeah, but especially the second movie has like, it's so stylish, it's so cool. Like the action, it
Yes,
saves the whole movie. I just can't hate this movie. It's too good. Like,
it's also because of Monica Bellucci, right?
yeah, sure. And also the orgasm cake. I remember I was watching. I
Yes.
remember I was watching this as a kid. I didn't understand it. I just
Yes,
didn't understand
exactly.
what's going on with this. Like growing up later, it's like, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, you probably just thought, yeah, well, she needs to go to the bathroom
right.
because, yeah,
It was exactly what I was thinking, man. It's like,
yes,
why she's show? Yeah. Anyways, man, this is getting too Freudian here, man.
oh yeah, it is.
All right, back to the director's point of view. Why was
Yes.
Lana Wachowski driven to return to the franchise just a few years after uh, Lily Wachowski, who did not work on the Matrix Resurrections, said on record that a new Matrix would be particularly repelling idea in these times. Okay. Okay, here's the quote. Wait, I'm gonna put the statement. It's just a small one. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can check it out and the other ones as well. It'll make things a bit easier. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna read it out loud anyways. So this is what Lana Wachowski said when she was being asked why do you wanna reboot or wanna do a fourth part. Okay, she said, "My dad died, then this friend died, then my mom died. I didn't really know how to process that kind of grief. I hadn't experienced it that closely. Their lives are going to end, and yet it was still really hard. My brain has always reached into my imagination, and one night I was crying and I couldn't sleep, and my brain exploded this whole story." I don't want to be like disrespectful, but this sounds like kind of a red flag for the movie.
Yeah, it does a little bit, yeah.
And it's okay if you want to deal with your trauma or whatever, do it. But I don't think you can come up with a good script in one night. But okay. She continues saying, "And I couldn't have my mom and dad, yet suddenly I had Neo and Trinity, arguably the two most important characters in my life. And I
Oh, I
was,
guess.
and it was immediately comforting to have these two characters alive again. And it's super simple. You can look at it and say, okay, these two people die, and okay, bring these two people back to life, and oh, doesn't that feel good? Yeah, that was exactly what I was afraid
Yeah.
of. So it's just like, yeah, it feels good, so I'm gonna do it, but it doesn't make any sense narratively. And she ends with, yeah, it did. It's simple, and this is what art does, and that's what stories do. They comfort us. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I don't know if stories always comfort me. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
It depends on the story a whole lot.
yeah, yeah, like those fucking two sentences back to back. I'm gonna read it loud again, okay? These two people die, and okay, bring these two people back to life. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Yeah, this is what art does. No. Yeah, like I don't want to like fuck anyone's expectations when it comes to the Matrix, but yeah, when I was saying, hey, maybe there's gonna be an explanation for why they're back, I just think they're gonna be back. You know why? Because it feels good.
I gotta be honest, man. This kind of, yeah, ruins my expectations for this movie as well.
Yeah.
Because there isn't really any thought that went into why they came back. She's literally saying that here. She just felt bad, and then she wanted to have them back, and that's it. Playing God, pretty much. Now they're back, and that's it. Okay, so I guess we don't get an explanation why they're still alive. It's
Yeah,
just because she wanted to feel like it.
It's also frustrating for the viewers. You know, you're invested with those kind of characters, and they are not really. You don't really have an emotional connection with them. Like we talked about this in the very first episode of Red Smoke. They're pretty boring characters. Like what is Neo? He's like a hacker. That's his character. He doesn't really have a character, you know. But you kind of grow on the characters. You grow up with this movie and all this shit, and then someone comes up and say, "Oh, by the way, you felt sad at the ending of Matrix 3 because they died. Yeah, you didn't have to because I could resurrect them at any moment, you know.
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah,
it's
but
really
also, my brain exploded this whole story. I don't know about that one. So just one night when she was feeling shit and was crying and couldn't sleep, she had this idea for the story. So I guess there is a lot of emotional turmoil that doesn't necessarily make sense that ended up being the story. I just hope that someone looked over that. But it's just bad to know that her brother, sibling, whatever, didn't. Because he couldn't be bothered, or she.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't sound too good, to be honest.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. This is gonna be interesting, but yeah, the trailer gives a lot away. Actually,
Yeah, it does.
If we take a close look, it actually does. Yeah, it's still okay, it's like a personal thing. She's strong. It still sounds better than I just did it for the money because it obviously can't say
You know,
that.
yeah, of course not. You know what's the funny thing? Oh, not really funny, but
Yeah.
artists do this a lot, right? That they work through their emotions in their art, like big painting or music, and then it works, right? Even if, for example, with a music track, the lyrics are not that deep or crazy, but the music itself has the emotions in it, so it works. It touches people. But for a movie, where you actually need some sort of coherent story, especially if there are already 3 movies in existence in that universe, that kind of doesn't work, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, of
But
course.
maybe,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, like this fucking machines and all this stuff, it doesn't really exist in the real world, but you buy into it because you kind of accept the rules of the movie. I also accept that lightsabers exist when I watch Star Wars, you know?
Yes.
But nevertheless, the new movies don't make any sense
Exactly.
in regards to the old movies, you know? I can still watch movies where there are fucking lightsabers, but it has to make sense narratively, you know? And I just have the feeling it's going to be the same shit because The Matrix actually has been one of the most intelligent movies, of course, and it's very intelligently written. It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of logic. I never saw Matrix as an emotional movie. Of course, in the end, yeah, it's all love, and love saved us, and all this bullshit, and it's okay. It's okay. I can look over that, but.
Yeah,
it
really
sounds
think
like
the only,
yeah.
Yeah, the only emotion they used, really, in my opinion, in Matrix, especially was it in the second one? Yeah, I think, was the love of Neo for Trinity, right, to save her, which made him fly super fast through the Matrix and all this. And then, okay, that's fine, I get it. But outside of that, it was a completely logical and based on reason and metaphors and reality kind of movie, right? So now the fourth one, is apparently. Not apparently, it was birthed completely in the emotions of someone grieving. So I don't know where this is going. And it would be fine if she would make another movie, some kind of whatever. But in the Matrix universe, I don't see that fitting very much. And it's the same thing you were mentioning earlier with Star Wars. Like it's a shared universe, right? And there are rules within that universe, even if they are not real.
I
But
mean,
if then you bring out a movie that doesn't adhere to these rules, like fully, bending it a little bit, okay, fine, but fully ignoring them, that's just, it feels weird. You feel alienated by that.
And you brought up a very interesting point. Like, just come up with a completely new idea, and then it's gonna be okay. You don't have to like get back to the Matrix and do all this shit, you know. Like just do something. And it is what they did, because you were asking what else have they done, and they actually did V for Vendetta, you know, which is a pretty awesome movie.
Right.
And it was 2 years after Matrix 3. And yeah, so it was a pretty nice movie. Afterwards they just did some shit, you know. I don't know if you've seen Cloud Atlas or what is it called?
Yeah, I think I watched the first hour before falling asleep.
Oh Jesus, it was one of the most boring movies in my entire life.
It was. Yes.
Yeah.
It was painful.
Oh,
also, God. I watched what's it called? Yeah, Jupiter Ascending.
Right, I'm seeing the filmography right now on Wikipedia. There's a lot of good stuff, but also there's a lot of shit there. Yeah.
Yeah, this was also very, very, very weird, that movie, and it still didn't make sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a good feeling about the Matrix 4, but it's gonna make for a good rant, at least.
Sure. Maybe it's fantastic, you know? I mean, I don't believe it will be, but, you know,
Yeah.
could be. In-
Oh my god. So everybody who's listening right now, or later when we are not live anymore, I was talking to Alex before this show because we took a little break, and I was like, I want to get Red Smoke back on the air, and you were like, yeah, sure, let's do it, and you were like, what's the topic? I'm like, let's discuss the new trailer for Matrix 4, and you said, that's it? I'm like, yep. Is it gonna be enough for 2 hours? Like one trailer to discuss, you know? And it's a good sign because we're already like 30 minutes into it. But you know, guys, you just never know with Red Smoke. We just disappear for like 5 weeks, and we come back for a 10-minute stream. Then we're gone again for 5 weeks.
That would have been awesome, though.
Oh, it's a
Just
joke.
not
It's
giving
a
a fuck, you
it's a joke, everybody. It's a joke. No, it's not. Oh my god. Yeah, I put it in the description of the video we are streaming right now. I stole it from someone who commented on it on some kind of YouTube video. I don't remember where it was. It's such a fucking funny thing. I have to read it out loud. So basically, the description for Matrix 4 is the one man who made a difference 5 times before is about to make a difference again. Only this time it's different. Oh my god! But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Like, yeah, he already completed the hero's journey or the hero's cycle or whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, but you're gonna do it again.
Yeah, it's also because we learned in the second movie that this is how the Matrix operates, right? That it's just a cycle, and that's fine. And we were part of it, part of that journey throughout these 3 movies.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna see it again.
Oh my god,
Great.
It's so crazy. I was asking a question in the video description as well. I said it's going to be a fun nostalgic romp or a forced allegory about trans people, like maybe. Could it be both and still be good? Do you think it could be good?
I mean, it really depends on how much fan service is in there. If it's like loaded with it, then it will explode for sure because nerdgasms, you know. But that doesn't necessarily say if it's a good movie, you know. It's a fan service movie. Then.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know. It actually depends, like truly, on how much they actually infuse wokeism into the new one. Because that's always a big indicator if that movie is going to be good or not. See Star Wars, and there are already some signs of that, right? With that one girl in the trailer.
Just because it's blue hair, but yeah, I gotta say I kind of have a trauma with blue hair, especially purple hair with blue hair as well. So yeah,
exactly.
It's not a good sign. Not a good sign.
Yeah, it's this unnatural hair color for women. You know, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, maybe that's just us projecting too much into it. I don't know, but it's a telltale sign in most cases.
Sure. So let's dive into the trailer frame by frame or like scene by scene. So yeah, the trailer is running in the background. If something relevant happens, I'm gonna put up a screenshot of it and put it on. The trailer kicks off. We see a quite saturated shot of a family-friendly city. I don't know, which is a nice callback to the last scene of the Matrix 3. You remember, right, when the Oracle is standing there with this little child and they're watching like rainbows and everything is so saturated. But I gotta say, like, especially when it comes to the look of the whole thing, it doesn't really look like a Matrix movie as well. Not only does it not feel like one, and I just have seen the trailer, but from the looks, like the old movies were they were pretty gritty and pretty like cyberpunk-ish kind of stuff, and this one looks like a fucking I don't know, Netflix production, like, you know, pretty TV series stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the reason is also because the original Matrix movies, they had intentionally this green tint, right? Telling you that you are in the Matrix. So if you look at it, there is always some sort of slight, even if it's a very slight, greenish overlay over the whole scenes, which tells you that you are in the Matrix. And this just has some style because subconsciously or even you just don't realize it immediately, but you notice, all right, this is now in the Matrix, even if you don't know it consciously. And they just completely ignore that, much like the sunglasses, which it was just part of how these people dress and how this universe operated, right? And this is kind of lacking. Yeah, also the cool suits and all of this,
Yeah, what the fuck is that? It's really it's nice that you mentioned it because I think this is something we actually forgot to talk about in the very first episode, that the brilliant first movie had this very subtle green hue for Matrix scenes, and like I think it was a blue hue for real world scenes.
Yes.
And yeah, which was partly done also by using like tinted fabrics for costumes, and the sequels, of course, they like overused that effect and saturated just the shit out of it. But that visual theme seems to be completely absent here.
Yeah, I think it's these little details that make a movie very good. When you like, what is it? 10? No, it's actually 20 years later. We talk about this, right?
Yeah.
And you still notice these little details about just the saturation of the scenes. It's these little details that make me fall in love with a movie,
Sure.
or movie series. Because I noticed that the person who was doing it was really, they had attention for detail. They really wanted to make it work, and they put all the thought into it. And it's just these subtle details like the coloring, or even everyone just wearing sunglasses, which, if you think about it, is actually quite difficult for the actors then to convey their expressions better because their eyes do a lot with that. So it was actually a big part of them, but that made them, cooler is the wrong word. Obviously, sunglasses make it cool, right? But it had this sort of, it was a bit emotionless intentionally through these sunglasses because they were just these static figures pretty much.
Right.
And now we don't have that. We have just regular dudes walking around having these powers somehow, and it's kind of weird to me, to be honest.
And also, we apparently gonna have Neil Patrick Harris as well in the movie.
Oh yeah,
that's the first scene of the trailer. We find ourselves in like this kind of therapist's office. Then Black Cat, remember Black Cat, guys?
Yes, like, do you get the hint? Do you get it?
And but you know what's really cool? Like the first words spoken, and speaking of red flags, I'm just gonna ruin the fucking movie for everyone. I don't give a damn. The first words spoken in this trailer by Neil Patrick Harris's character are, "Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now."
Yes, triggered.
Like the word "triggered" in the Matrix universe. It's I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's these things that are already giving away where this is going, right?
Yeah,
I think at least. I mean, we don't know, but
like they came in the word "triggered" in a Matrix movie. It just sounds wrong. That's what I believe. That's what I was trying to get into when I said it just sounds, or it feels like a Netflix production series. Like, yeah,
it does.
I don't know.
Also, Neil Patrick Harris is always weird to me when I see him. I don't know why. I guess it's due to How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And he's just that guy to me.
It's hard to get rid of that, that thing. And speaking of how to get rid of your alter ego, then fucking Keanu appears and looks like ass, man. He looks like ass.
He looks like. Yeah, it's not just like if you compare him, he kept his long hair, so you would think it's John Wick, but he had some harsh winters.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
He looks so fucked up. I don't know. Like, and I mean, look, it might fit to the story actually, but yeah. So Neil Patrick Harris asks him, "Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now." And then Keanu replies, "I've had dreams that weren't just dreams." Like, yeah. And then he has like some kind of Vietnam flashbacks of things happening. I think we also see like scenes from previous movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk about his look, man. I mean, in my opinion, I think Keanu should look more like an older Neo and less like John. Keanu looking like Keanu actually looking like Keanu, you know.
Yes, exactly.
It's you know, get rid of the beard, like cut your hair a little bit, but apparently that didn't happen. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. He actually just looks like regular Keanu Reeves, not like any sort of character. They just didn't care about changing anything.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't care, or if like Keanu said, "Okay, I'm gonna come back for the for the movie, but I'm gonna keep my beard." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, anyways." Okay.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and just like he looks so fucking bored. Like I don't want to be in this movie. I just want to get it done, get the paycheck.
Well, I mean, in this situation, it might actually be real because he's in the Matrix and he's wondering what the fuck's going on. So maybe it was intentional for him to be kind of irritated or bored. But I think even later when he actually has his powers, and we see that in the trailer, he still looks kind of nah.
Yeah. So yeah, so about the looks, what can I tell you, man? It's just not. It definitely helps to not get into the movie. It's crazy. And speaking of this, afterwards he asks his therapist or whoever Neil Patrick Harris is. Keanu asks, "Am I crazy?" As you can see in the still frame, and then Neil Patrick Harris replies, "We don't use that word here." Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It's just let's see what that will mean.
Yeah, it's
And-
just very, very bland dialogue, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
It doesn't really
It is.
say anything. Like,
Yeah, also like this. What Keanu says before. I've had dreams that weren't just dreams. Yeah, could basically mean anything and nothing at all. Yeah, I don't know. And then we follow the absolute generic formula for just like every trailer. Shot, synced to a well-known pop song cover. In that case, Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbits. Wow, so subtle. it's
yes,
so,
it is.
it's I don't know. You said you were intentionally just watching the trailer one time, but maybe you remember the song, and it's yeah. They really wanted to make sure that everyone understands. Hey guys, this is a trailer for the new Matrix movie. You get it, right? And that's the cool thing. If they would have really given it the whole Matrix look, all of that wouldn't be necessary. They wouldn't even need Keanu Reeves or Carrie Ann Moss or anyone. But you can smell when it's like a scene from the Matrix. Also in the beginning, you could just have some policemen. But if you
Yes.
do all the tricks, and if you do like maybe the green hue a little bit, actually put on some score instead of soundtrack, I think anyone would have gotten. It's like, oh yeah, Matrix is back. And now I'm just like, yeah, obviously Matrix.
Why
is
didn't they use Club to Death? You know that song that has like 150 million views or something on YouTube. And it's one of the most famous clips ever on YouTube because it was one of the first actually. It's super famous, like a nerd kind of thing. Everyone knows about that clip or that song in that clip, and they couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, but that's what I meant with like a generic formula for just every trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like covering 70s songs nowadays, it's like the thing.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone does it like for their trailers. Like also like the whole Marvel fucking bullshit stuff. They all do it. They all do it. It's like every trailer. It's almost funny. I'm still waiting for the first Star Wars movie that comes out. And there's like some fucking Rolling Stones song in the background. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh god.
we had what's it called, the Inception one for the longest time, you know,
Oh,
the
jeez.
Inception idea of
it
trailers.
actually appears in the end, but we're gonna get into that.
It does,
I'm not
yeah.
done with it yet.
Yes, but now we get the 70s music kind of overlay. And
Yeah.
That's a new thing how we do trailers, I guess.
It's a kind of trend, and I really don't understand why. Especially because everyone does it, and the Matrix was always some kind of, hey, we're gonna do something differently. So they really had a chance, but what they actually did is they blend in, and now it just looks like the absolute most generic action movie that comes out every year. It looks like fucking yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it does. Actually, because we were on the topic, and I just saw it on the screen. I mean, we get Keanu Reeves and Carrie Ann Moss. What the hell is Lawrence Fishburne doing?
Oh, we
Like,
get to that. We get to that. Don't just this is a whole topic for itself. This is going to be interesting. And just I don't want to say anything beforehand, but apparently he might be in the movie.
Okay.
I think I have to double check on IMDb again. Maybe they want to save the reveal for the second trailer or for the movie. I don't know. So
I was
maybe,
gonna say, how about save the reveal for the movie and not for the damn trailers? God damn it.
yeah. Not that this is gonna save it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I hate when they give away everything in the trailers.
I know. At least you cannot tell where the story is going, so I have to give them that. That's a good thing, but yeah. Afterwards, speaking of old faces, we see Neo and Trinity shaking hands in a coffee shop or whatever. And Neo goes high, and Trinity is like, "Have we met before?" Yeah, this is obviously like a fucking fangirl moment. Everyone's seeing this like, Neo, Trinity, I got back together. It's obviously it's made for this. People in the cinema are gonna be like, "Woo, they're back together." It's the Also, pretty interesting that they put this in the trailer, and I mean at the 30-second mark of the trailer. They really wanted you to know that this is a Matrix movie.
Also, what's weird though, just realizing that, because apparently then Trinity doesn't know about the Matrix either, because she's also in the Matrix swallowing blue pills, I guess, because she's not one of Morpheus's helpers, I guess. So this is already a bit different, I would say. But weird to me as to how that would make sense in any case. But yeah, maybe she's just plugged in again, resurrected from the dead somehow, and is now a regular human. But randomly meets Neo, you know.
Also, there's like this theory of clones existing, and this is like, I don't know.
Okay, clones.
Yeah,
they usually use clones when they write themselves into a corner or time travel.
Yeah,
we get some of that.
I have a feeling we're gonna get a little bit of everything in that movie, so we're gonna see. Neo goes high. Trinity's like, "Have we met before?" And then we see shots of a very confused Neo. I don't know what the dominant emotion is. Is it confused or like just bored and like I don't want to be here? It's kind of expression like that. And then the fucking lyrics of the song go. One pill makes you larger, one pill makes you small, and the one that mother gives you doesn't do anything at all. Like, it's about pills, and we have like red pill and blue pill. And at that very moment, we are being shown like a bunch of blue pills. Someone throws a bunch of blue pills in the toilet or whatever. It's, oh my god, so fucking unsubtle. It's
speaking of unsubtle, I'm gonna skip back a little bit to the scene with Neil Patrick Harris again.
Yes.
Because I forgot to mention that he's wearing very blue glasses, right? I mean, almost didn't get the hint there.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I think this will be true throughout the whole movie, that you see these blue things, then you know you're in the Matrix, I guess, or you have some blue pill dude, as opposed to the saturation of the scene, which is what I would have liked actually.
That's what the original movie never did. It never insulted the intelligence of the audience. It assumed that I can connect the dots, Like imagine how much trust. I'm gonna let you talk in a second. Imagine how much trust the writers had, the Wachowskis back in the days. They're like, this is such a complex movie, but we have to trust the audience to like figure this shit out. And like, imagine watching The Matrix for the first time. I just can't imagine it anymore because I have seen it so often, and I have a very blurry remembrance of when I was first watching it. So it's really hard for me to put my finger on it and I say how exactly did I felt. I'm sure I was a little bit surprised. I was a little bit confused. But Warner Brothers and the Wachowskis, they had trust. They said, no, the audience is going to figure this out. We're not going to... We're going to be subtle, and this is like the complete difference here, yeah? Especially like with little hints like fucking Neil Patrick Harris's glasses, the fucking cat in the first 10 seconds, man. It's
also one of the next scenes then when the girl from the train ride has red glasses, So because it couldn't be more obvious who is who, right?
Yeah.
And... yeah, I don't remember exactly how I felt back in the days, other than I truly enjoyed the action scenes, obviously, and people flying and this kind of shit and stopping bullets. That was cool. But the philosophy, I think it actually took a bunch of more views of it to fully understand it.
Absolutely.
Or even years later, some things finally may click for me. And this is just so great about this movie. But you're right, they had a lot of trust. Actually, Warner Brothers didn't have so much trust into the movies because I've read somewhere they wanted to have an $80 million budget, but they only gave them $20 million or something.
Yeah.
because they said, nah, that's not going to do it. But they still managed to make a great movie with a pretty cut budget, so that's nice.
The trailer continues, and there's this one shot. I think I don't want to say it pisses me off the most, but okay, I'm just gonna go. Maybe discount more for a few words. But anyway, I think it pisses me off the most because see, I think this is what I mentioned earlier. The Matrix has always been like kind of cyberpunk, cyberpunk in the sense of in the late 90s, this is what we thought the future is gonna look like, right? Yes. Everyone is gonna wear sunglasses and leather trench coats, and it's a cool, iconic shit because you don't see this anywhere else in any other movie. Maybe some fucking animes or stuff like that. But this is where the story is supposed to set. But then there's this shot of Neo being inside this elevator. I don't know if you remember it. I'm gonna put this still
frame. Can you put it up?
I'm gonna still frame on the air. It's up right now, and you can see it. And there's a shot of Neo being inside this elevator, and everyone around him is looking at their phone or tablet or whatever. And I don't know, like smartphones and tablets, right. It just doesn't belong to a Matrix movie. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Also, and this is what pisses me off the most. We have explored like the theme of being plugged into a machine, and now they have to do it on a nose, don't they?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
we live in a society, right? Stuff like that. Oh,
it seems to be that the original Matrix was gonna show us the future and us like seeing that, and now they thought, like, didn't Lana Wachowski, I don't even know, also say that it doesn't really fit in current times because of it's so accurate. And I mean, this is the idea of the shot, right? That everyone looking into their smartphones and tablets being plugged in. And he, obviously, Keanu here, the only one looking not into these things is the one that is sort of unplugged or different.
Yeah.
Which is true even today, but it's sort of, yeah, I get it. I know it. Thank you. It's kind of... But maybe it's just because it doesn't fit in current times, you know? Maybe the idea of the Matrix just doesn't work these days, and it only worked 20 years prior.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the Matrix so great. It's such a timeless story, It still works, and especially the first movie, it aged so fucking well. The effects still hold up. It's so fucking awesome.
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
You can watch this fucking Venom movie that came out this year. It looks cheaper than Matrix 20 years ago.
Yeah, it does.
It's so crazy. And then afterwards, after this fucking society shot, as I want to call it, the lyrics of the song, I mean, it's a fucking symphony. The lyrics of the song go on. It's a talk about pills, and then it says, "Go ask Alice." You can actually see it on the screen because you can read the subtitles to the song, and the lyrics go ask Alice, and it shows Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
I love how the editing was so literal and showing things when a lyric brought it up. Oh my god, it gives me like this YouTube 2006 AMV style. I don't know. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, you can really tell by the trailer that this time around they didn't have any trust in their audience. Like nothing.
Yep.
They didn't think they could ever make a connection, a subtle connection. It has to be on the nose. And you see, the interesting thing though is if this would be a completely new audience because you make a completely new movie, I would actually sort of understand that because these days people are just bored. I wouldn't say stupid, but they couldn't be bothered with figuring out things. But by the looks of it, this Matrix movie is fan service heaven, designed to go towards the old audience. So applying this method here for the old people who actually are interested in going deep into metaphors and subtle things, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard to say because if someone really truly loved like the first Matrix movie, I don't think he's gonna enjoy this. Also, if you want to catch new people who have never seen the Matrix, they're gonna watch this shit like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like, imagine not having seen any of the Matrix. Imagine don't know what like this whole red pill bullshit is. Watching this trailer, I'm like, what is this shit? It doesn't tell me anything.
Yes, exactly.
like a trailer is supposed to be like a funnel to sell the movie to you. Um, this is just like, hey, remember White Rabbit and like Black Cats and fucking Blue Pills? Yeah,
Yeah, you
go
see, as
watch the
someone
movie.
who's selling stuff online like we
Right,
do, we
right.
know that you need your customer avatar, right? And you need to know your audience, what they
Hmm.
actually want. And this movie tries, or it seems to be trying to adhere to everyone.
Hmm.
But it doesn't work because, as you said, if you have never seen any of that, none of these metaphors, even if they are really on your nose, actually
Mm.
click for you because the blue glasses don't tell you anything except looking stupid. And if you are from the old audience, you know all these things, but they are too on your nose. Like for us, example, like we see this and you think, come on, that's bullshit.
Mm.
That's too obvious. So it tries to be both, but that just makes it worse, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And afterwards, we're gonna get to a part which I think you're gonna enjoy a lot. We get in the trailer a little bit more mushroom trip from Neo, and then when we see a new Oracle, I assume, and then we see we see a new Morpheus. I gotta put the screenshot up, man, because it's just too good, man. This is like the someone on YouTube used the term porn parody Morpheus. That pops into my head every time I see the trailer. Oh my god. Jesus, so incredible. It's also like this, the meme like, hey mom, I want to have Morpheus, and we have Morpheus at home, and this Morpheus at home. Oh my god.
Also, he's wearing a red shirt, right? To make it more obvious.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's actually wearing sunglasses. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Just realizing that. So how is that happening? And like, why does no one else
Yeah.
wear them? Weird.
And he
But
just says, as you can see in the screenshot, time to fly, and boom, and yeah, like I said, we just talked about this. There could be clones. There could also be like time traveling, which means he's talking to maybe a younger version of Morpheus. Then it would make sense given the rules they're setting themselves. But yeah,
yeah, but now I want to go back to this. Unless it's still not time. Why is Lawrence Fishburne not in that?
I don't know. Let
What's he
me,
doing?
let me check IMDb. Let me check if he's in there.
Just Google it.
Yeah,
Why is
Lawrence Fishburne Matrix 4? Huh.
Let's see what Google says.
Apparently he's not gonna be in there. He's not gonna be part
Oh,
of.
it says on Google. I don't know how true that is. It's from GameRevolution.com. I don't know, but it says because nobody asked him to reprise his role,
So,
which I think is just bullshit.
oh my god. No, apparently he's not gonna be in the trailer. I was being told that he might have like a surprise thing there, but
Oh, this is an interesting thing here. I just see on what's that? HITC. What kind of a website is that? But anyway, they said because Morpheus, his character managed to survive the events of the original trilogy and the climatic battle of Zion. Therefore, he's still alive in the real world and not in the new version of the Matrix.
jeez, man.
Dude, that's whatever.
Also, Elrond is gonna miss Hugo Weaving. He's
Oh,
also
right.
he's also not gonna be in the Matrix 4, and
Oh, come
this
on.
this is something important because I feel like one of the most underrated characters of the Matrix trilogy, someone who actually has a character, is the program Smith.
Oh,
And
yes.
if this movie has any hope of being cinematically successful, it's going to need a very strong villain, right? Which every movie needs. And
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving, if you think about him, he stole every scene he was in. Like
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Keanu Reeves back in the days, he really looked like a blank slate, and Hugo Weaving had so much emotion. It's so crazy. He had all the best lines, and he managed to portray like this program of a computer simulation with human emotions. It's so cool.
He's just a fantastic actor. You
Yeah,
gotta
absolutely. And yeah, imagine like a fucking computer program with goals and ambitions that also goes
Yes.
through a fucking character arc. This is not sure if like Neil Patrick Harris can pull it off or whatever he's gonna play it. I don't know if yeah.
Still, I remember I remember when I watched it the first time, and there was the scene where he explains how humans are a virus, right? the famous scene, which is such a fantastic scene. And it goes so deep, and it means so much actually, the scene. And I remember watching that, I had goosebumps when he said that. I was like, oh damn, he's right. Humans aren't that stupid. And yeah, it was like, dude, that's crazy. That really made me think, and it was so great delivered. If you rewatch the scene, how he acted that scene, with the emotions he showed there as a program, as you say, it was fantastic, absolutely great. So yeah, and he's apparently not in it, right?
Yeah. So he's not going to be in it. Lawrence Fishburne is not going to be in it. Yeah. Surprisingly, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss said yes. So I mean, it would be cool. Like, don't bring anyone from the old cast. Just like reboot it. Then I would say, okay, I would like to give it a shot even more. But this way, it's just like, yeah, let's see how much nostalgia we can like pump it into, and yeah, fucking cash grab that is.
Yeah.
So, where were we? Yeah, fucking Morpheus comes back. Porn parody Morpheus. It's I'm just gonna call him that. I don't care. Then we see our arch nemesis, the blue-haired chick with a fucking rabbit tattoo on her shoulder. Remember rabbit tattoo on the shoulder? And that's the best part. Why the fucking lyrics go, and if you go chasing rabbits.
Yes. They really set up the scenes perfectly to that song, right?
Yeah. Oh my god!
Nice. But it's weird because it's not really weird, but in the original trilogy, the girl with the tattoo was actually just a regular looking girl, right? Nothing crazy about her.
Yeah.
But now we need this sort of feminist trans kind of girl. I don't even know what it is, with the rabbit on her shoulder, and this already I don't like. But then again, if you look at Lana, him, her, I don't know, it would make sense that she infuses the new Matrix with that.
Yeah. So anyway, the blue-haired chick goes to Neo and says, if you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow them. It's like, yeah, like I would expect Neo to say, bitch, I did this 4 movies ago, you know.
Yes.
So this is probably more of an indicator of, it's rather going to be a reboot than a sequel, ? I don't know. See Hollywood's love of like gender politics in the last years, and like the brothers becoming sisters and all. It just makes me a bit nervous.
It does, but what the weird thing is, maybe it's just me, but what I have realized is that the majority of people are sort of getting tired of that, in my opinion. At least there is something happening in people where they think, oh, come on, is there another sexism, feminism topic in this movie? I just want to see my favorite hero, whatever, do his thing. I don't care about this. At least it seems to me. Maybe I just live in my bubble and it's actually not the case. I don't know. But to me, it seems that people are getting fed up with this. So if there is too much of this in the Matrix, that's not going to fly. Especially after the disaster we had with Star Wars, which was a huge shitstorm right after the whole feminism purple hair lady kind of thing.
Yeah. So let's just hope that blue hair is a little bit more better than purple hair. But yeah, I'm gonna call it right now. There's gonna be a purple pill as well. I'm gonna call it right now.
Oh damn! Right? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it exists in the real world, right? Much like the black pill. So maybe there is something. I don't know. The black pill definitely not gonna be in there because that's too harsh. But yeah,
we're gonna tear this movie apart. Fucking 10-hour special, I swear. So trailer continues, and Morpheus says, "By the way, it's a fucking long trailer. We're still talking about this. It should be a fucking trailer, a tease, you know, not like." So Morpheus continues, says, "The only thing that matters to you is still here. That's why you are still fighting, and why you will never give up." Referring to Trinity, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But what else would there be for him to fight within the Matrix, right? And it was really the idea of the first movies that he was so in love with her and did all these things. But then again, in the end, he actually did it for the humans, right? Not for her. But it's I guess that's the thing he really cares about. I don't know.
And then Neo goes like, "You don't know me," and then we have like, like badass scenes and all that. I'm really tired of people in trailers saying "You don't know me." It just reminds me of these Star Wars trailers. It really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Bad memories, fucking trauma.
Trauma, yeah.
More shots, and then we see an agent transforming, and I need to mention this. The special effects are on par with like early 2000 Disney Channel movies. I swear it's I have the screenshot here, and you can see it on the street. It's hard for me to put on a whole scene of that. It's probably gonna get me banned or anything, but yeah, it looks like an alien.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, now don't get me wrong. We all remember like the way that the agents transformed, like in the helicopter and in the
Yes.
in the fucking trucks and the highway scenes, fucking awesome. And it looked a little bit glitchy. Do you remember back in the days?
Yes.
But it actually fits because there are machines
course.
and we are all in a simulation and all this stuff. But here it looks worse than fucking 20 years ago.
Actually, it looks completely out of place in that shot.
Yeah,
which is
it's interesting. It's interesting when you press pause on this trailer. There are a few interesting things. My God.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, special effects. It just looks just don't like the way it looks, man. That's all I can say about it. And
Actually, when there comes a scene later when he
Yeah.
fights with Morpheus, and then this sort of explosion is in the dojo or whatever.
yeah,
That looked like from a video game. That was weird to me. It was like a 2004 video game explosion. I'm like, I guess they would have a lot of budget for this movie because the original 3 went so well, and
True.
people are still talking about it. So I would have expected a lot of CGI budget for this one, but
it's a guaranteed
Yeah.
cash grab. So
Yeah,
sure
exactly.
they got some money.
yeah, that's weird. Then
yeah.
because why are these effects so bad then?
That's the
what I don't
question. Yeah,
understand.
that's the question. It looks artificial, and I know it's a
Yes.
good thing for the Matrix, but like not cinematography wise.
Exactly.
It's just not my taste.
Yeah, but that's what you meant when you said the original trilogy looked a bit glitchy, which was I
Yeah.
don't know if it was intentional, but it did fit absolutely. And this one just looks cheap, or some sort of some Disney movie kind of effects.
You know,
And I'm not talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, I gotta give one thing to. We talked about all 3 Godfather movies, right?
Yes.
So the first and the second Godfather movie came out in the early 70s, or guess it was the early 70s, yeah. And again, there was of course the inevitable cash grab third movie, which came out over 20 years later, I think.
Yeah.
But if you watch all 3 movies back to back, they all look the same. They all have the same color palette. They all have the same kind of, the way they make the movies. Like it's all saturated in the same way. It's the lightning is all the same. It just looks like a normal trilogy, even though the third movie is ass. But this is the way it's supposed to be. You can just see a frame from The Godfather 3 and say, oh yeah, that's a Godfather movie. You can just tell. And here, I could say Matrix 1, 2, 3. I can always tell when it's a Matrix movie. But this, I take a look at every frame. I'm just gonna press pause on every frame, and I don't think Matrix.
Exactly, that's the point. It doesn't look at all like the Matrix movie. And it's, as we said, it's one thing because of style, like the costumes and like the missing sunglasses, I guess, is one part. But also the effects and the missing hue and saturation. It's just, if they do a Matrix movie and virtually resurrecting it, the old ones, and it's virtually the theme of the whole movie, apparently, then at least make it look the same. You know, I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also,
yeah.
that because when he uses his force powers, I'm going to use that term here in the movie, because it actually looks like in Star Wars that there is some sort of, I don't even know, some wobble in the air when he pushes people away, which was not a thing in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's very often in this one for some reason that it looks like the Force in Star Wars to me, not like in Matrix where he actually just controls the Matrix itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So So we're approaching the end of the trailer. Yeah, special effects from the 2000s at best. Then again, we have like Neo kicking ass for 20, 30 seconds. So every fanboy is like a little bit it feels a little bit better.
Yes.
And then we have like the end scene. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe you've seen him somewhere. It's just like some guy. He's sitting in a chair, and he's like, after all these years, to be going back to where it all started, to the Matrix, then Inception horns, and then we have the logo. So of course, there's not gonna be a trailer without Inception horns. Yeah, just saved it for the end. Yeah, who fuck knows what that means? But that's a trailer for Matrix Resurrection.
Maybe that dude is the architect, just younger. Although that would be fucking weird, but I can't think of any person or a character rather he would be. We already know. Maybe it's a new one. I don't know, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's really like, yeah, it feels like a soft reboot to me. I said, didn't look like a Matrix movie. You cast Keanu Reeves, you cast Carrie-Anne Moss. Even one of the Reloaded agents. I don't know if you have seen it. I was showing you like an alien shot from him, but it's actually one of those Reloaded agents. Yes. But you replace Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, it's really weird. You either get everyone back or no one. You know, it would be like rebooting Star Wars, but then get another actor for Luke Skywalker. You know, just it would freak out people so much, even more. You know, oh my god, yeah.
This is what struck me so weird when I first watched that trailer, and I saw Keanu Reeves and Carrie Moss, and I was like, all right, okay, literal reboot pretty much with the same old characters. And then I see that dude with the red pill, like, wait, wait a second, what's going on here? It's just I was watching. I was reading Google meanwhile, and apparently there was an interview with Lawrence Fishburne about why he isn't in Matrix 4. And he said he doesn't know. You need to ask Lana Wachowski. He just wasn't asked.
Okay, Lana Wachowski is a fucking racist, confirmed.
Yes,
there we have it. Oh my god! Now seriously, now I want to get seriously into like a speculation to run, and I mean this the way I said. Like I said, it looks like a soft reboot. I'm worried that it might go a little bit the same route as Star Wars. Regarding the trans thing, though, like, it's just rumors, you know, everybody talking like rumors, yeah, it's gonna be like a metaphor for trans and all this stuff, maybe. I think it could work. Like, no shit. Because The Matrix seems like a good place to tell a story about that. Let me explain. Like, imagine if a dude was, like, plugged into the Matrix, but because of a glitch, was generated as a female avatar within the Matrix. It could be an interesting way, you know, to explore like a body dysmorphia and how such a thing would affect that person being plugged out of the Matrix, you know, only to find out they are not who they thought they were physically. The Matrix is a wonderful place to explore this topic. I'm not interested in that, but from a storytelling standpoint, I am. And in the end, one might ask, does the physical matter, you know, or is it the mind? And you can be like very subtle about it. But seeing how writing has been lately, I don't have much hope, man.
Yeah, actually, you bring up a great point there, because I would truly be interested in seeing that if it's done well, you know. If this is within the Matrix, as you put it, some sort of realization that there was a glitch in the Matrix. It wasn't supposed to be that way, and now they're in the wrong body. And what they do about it could be quite an interesting story, I guess. But yeah, the issue is then because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, so you can rest assured that this would be a very bad version of it. But you're right. If there is one place to explore this topic, then it would be in a Matrix scenario.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But I just guess, like, instead of being like intelligent or coming up with like any plan of writing, it's just gonna be like, oh, by the way, this is the way it is, you know. And the way you feel right now, it's good. It's good the way you are, you know, stuff like that. Some kind of stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I mean,
sorry. No, you go.
There will be something, I'm pretty sure, about this in The Matrix, just because the director herself changed his identity over the course of his life. So that just must be something, especially when she I don't know, is operating from her feelings, and which is why the movie even exists in the first place. So I'm sure there is some sort of feeling about her identity woven into this movie. I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if I care about that at all.
Yeah, it obviously is a very personal thing, and look, I think every work of fiction, every author puts in like a little bit of personality into it.
Yes,
and that's of
and
course
that's great.
But I think we have two completely different situations. Like, seeing the first movie was the fucking creative baby of both of those. I think they spent years writing and developing the ideas and the script for it, which led to the first movie being as good as it is. The sequels were rushed, and you can tell by the studio when the Wachowskis wanted a couple more years to develop the sequels. They weren't giving any time. You can tell. And yeah, you could say, now I'm going to be devil's advocate, and I'm going to say the near 20-year gap might be a sign this movie will be better than the sequels. But yeah, first of all, regardless, no matter how good it is, it would never recreate the impact the original one had on the industry and also culturally. And secondly, we know now the background, that this is like some sort of getting over some trauma, and I don't think she was actually writing on it for 20 years. It was like a very spontaneous, what was the term, like exploding brain, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing, because I don't think she was working on that for 20 years at all. As you said, it was just it exploded out of her brain, so it was just an overnight thought. And maybe then she had the basic outline of what it should be, okay? And then put a little bit of effort into fleshing it out, but yeah, there's still... I don't think there really went much thought into this whole story arc.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, can you think of a franchise where a long pause in the middle has brought quality on its return? There's not a single one. I think Star Wars, fucking Indiana Jones, Alien, Ghostbusters, Terminator.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter which. Any franchise who had like a few years gap and then you want to reboot it or you want to do a sequel, every time it failed, without exception. It's
yeah,
really
but I think the reason is, it's not because they spent 20 years perfecting the script, it's because after 20 years they thought, wait, we have a new generation of people, let's just cash grab with that old theme and bring in some more money. Which is exactly what has happened, well, very, very powerfully, I should say, with Star Wars, for example, which is exactly what it was. It's just they bought for $4 billion the Star Wars name, and then they thought, all right, we got to make this money back.
Yeah. That's so crazy, man.
And then they made I mean, I'm not going to talk about Star Wars 7 now, fuck that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm still surprised it just didn't call it The Matrix Rebooted. I mean, it would have fit much better on themes, you know, if you think about it. I mean, it's like a program,
exactly.
you know. You could say Matrix Reboot. Resurrections just made me think of Alien Resurrection, another fourth franchise failure.
I actually would have liked this more if they called it Rebooted, because then some sort of self, you know, not taking it too seriously. This sort of, it fits the theme, but also, I know it's 20 years later, some sort of reboot thing. So you get the hint. Yeah. Some sort of, making a little bit of a joke of it, but still being serious, you know. I would have liked that. Yeah.
It's not
Matrix Rebooted.
Yeah. It's not subtle, too subtle for that.
Yeah, I guess it's too subtle.
Yeah, they want money. And there's no shame in that. They want money, that's literally it. That's the entire reason that movie's being made. Everything else is directly linked to that reason. Don't come up with me with some kind of fucking my parents died or some bullshit. They want money, that's it. I just, you can tell. You can tell by the trailer, man.
Yeah, of course, because otherwise they wouldn't be so deep into the fan service. Yeah. Which is just obviously there to bring people back into the movie. Like, the old fans see all these things like Neo kicking ass with his paws and like stopping the bullets, even though we haven't talked about the shot. I think it looks fucking stupid.
What do you mean?
Can't just say that. The shot where he blocks the bullets with Trinity behind him.
Yeah. There's something about it that I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's not that he looks bored. He looks sort of almost afraid of his powers, which is maybe the idea. I don't know. But also, like, yeah, okay, I can stop bullets. Nah, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like if I think back to the old, like the chateau scene, right, where he
Uh-huh.
stops the bullets in front of that old painting there.
Hmm.
That's just one very famous shot that has aged very well over the decades, really,
Hmm.
and it's still a famous shot these days because it's just cool because he's the hero playing his role
Hmm.
and feeling great about his powers. And then I see this scene where he's sort of, yeah, okay, I can do this, but I don't know if I like that. And I'm
Hmm.
like, fuck off.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, I don't like that,
Yeah.
that look of it.
Hashtag not my Neo, guys. Put
Yes,
it up,
exactly.
man. Oh yeah, let's see. Like, I really want to repeat what I said. There's nothing wrong with making money with your movie. Like you can tell the
Yeah, of
first
course.
Matrix movie was like I was like, yeah, it was pure art. It was like, yeah, I don't think this was merely about money. It was too much of a financial risk to say, yeah, this is like a pure cash movie, which, for example, yeah, some fucking Marvel movie is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but the thing that stinks for me is like for years the Wachowskis refused to make any more sequels. They told their story and we were satisfied where it ended, most of us. Uh, and they also had like no desire to make more. It's also interesting. I think they must have retained the rights. Otherwise, I think Warner Brothers would have just made one without them.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
just a matter of time. I mean, even Lord of the Rings is gonna get like a series now. There's nothing safe
Wait,
anymore.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's gonna be like a. Oh yeah, it's a very huge thing actually. It's the most expensive project Amazon Prime has ever worked on, and yeah,
Okay.
can't wait for
Well,
that.
yeah, I mean, nothing's sacred, as you said. Everything's going to be
Yeah,
rebooted or
yeah,
resurrected. I don't care. And to make more money with it. But I wonder when this will stop, when people just don't watch that shit anymore because they are, like, even if you're a huge fan, I
hmm,
mean, if you're a nerdgasm kind of fan, then you still like it, I get it. But like in our case, we are huge fans of The Matrix, like
hmm,
huge fans. And if I walk out of this, I'm not going to go into it in the cinema, but if
sure.
I watch it and be like, no, that's already it. I'm not going to go into the cinema because I know it's not going to be that great. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend much money on that. So at some point, they got to realize that this doesn't work anymore. It's just rebooting all the old shit.
Yeah, but just check out the trailer on YouTube and check out the comments. Everybody's freaking out, and like this, what I explained to you earlier. This, I think there's also another word for it. It's called member berries, or like key jangling, whatever you want to call it. We both know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It fucking works. Like there are comments saying, "Oh my God, Neo and Trinity like reunited again." It just works. You just gotta put this shit up to people, and people gonna freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, I remember this shit. Yeah, I understood that reference." Yeah,
Yeah.
but it actually works. It's as for me personally, it almost became a meme, sort of. Like, someone shows me something which I remember from my childhood. Yeah, it's not gonna be that easy, but actually it is. Everybody in the comment section is just freaking out, say, "Oh, I can't wait for this movie. I hope it's gonna be good. I'm gonna watch it 5 times in the cinema." Everybody freaking out. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I mean, they can hope that it's going to be good, but I mean, they watch it anyway. Yeah, maybe we're just out of that loop. I don't know. That I just want more, especially from a franchise I love so much. I just want
Hmm.
more than just a simple reboot and new effects and this kind of bullshit. Uh, Maybe we're different there. I don't know.
Hmm.
Apparently, if it works, I mean, I guess if you look at the comments, it does.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's probably why they do it. I think this is also, as I mentioned before, with the Mandalorian, they didn't really try to make something crazy there. They just, yeah, I can spoil that in the end when Luke Skywalker comes back
Yeah.
and saves them all. You could just tell that this was also cinematographically so set up to be a reveal
Hmm.
that would get reactions people can post on YouTube. It was obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
It
the
was very
epitome. This is
obvious.
the epitome of key jangling for me. This
Yeah, it
this
is.
particular scene. I never watched The Mandalorian. Neither the first season nor the second one. It's just too stupid for me. I started it like the first episode, like fuck this shit. But
Okay.
I am familiar with the last scene because yeah,
Yeah.
internet fucking broke down after
Exploded.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh, but it's so cheap. It's so cheap.
It is. You can just tell how it was set up when you see him on the cameras, and then there's this one shot where you see, oh, it's a green lightsaber, so it must be Luke Skywalker, and everyone's going, oh, is it Luke? Is it Luke? And you can just tell this was made fan service for YouTube, and this is kind of, I mean, I get it. Okay, you get more exposure this way, and I guess money is the driving force there. But for me, I just hate when art really gets perverted just to make more money. And you desperately attempt to get these reaction videos out of it instead of focusing on the art and the story you're trying to tell itself there.
Very weird. Yeah, what's really interesting is, because we talk about the reactions of the people, the like-dislike ratio is stunning. We have 750,000 likes and only 22,000 dislikes, which means people are pretty hyped for this stuff, and they must be pretty okay with the trailer, because there have been trailers in the past, like I don't know, fucking Sonic the Hedgehog or stuff like that. People losing their minds, say, what is this shit? I don't want to see this. People are usually, you can usually tell like by the like-dislike ratio how good it's gonna perform, and people are hyped for this as fuck. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me because, yeah, to see the first comment. Please let this be as good as I want it to be.
Yeah, I'm on the page as well right now. Yeah.
Yeah. You might be disappointed there. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I mean, guess being hyped for it works. People were also very hyped for the Star Wars 7 after many years. I was as well. I mean, it was just wasn't it just a 10-second teaser? No, it was more.
I remember when it came out. It was
because it came out of nowhere. They played this really well. It's just all of a sudden there was this trailer on YouTube top page at the front.
Yeah.
And I see this in 20 million views or whatever, and like, wait, Star Wars Episode 7? What the hell is going on? And I click on it. I think it was just 30 seconds or a minute, something like that.
I still remember it. Like we just saw like this fucking football droid and a little bit of desert planet, and then in the end we saw this fucking fucked up lightsaber with like 3 things. Everybody was losing about it. This was perfect marketing.
Yeah, it was. And I think this is also what works here, because you don't really know anything about the story with the Matrix trailer. You get the subtle, not so subtle hints about blue pill and red pill, and Neo kicking ass in the end with his powers.
Yeah.
So this works totally well to hype it up, but it doesn't really tell you anything if it's going to be good, unless you spend 2 hours like we do and go into it frame by frame to see where the direction is going. But maybe we're wrong. I mean, I'll be honest, when I watch it the first time, I'm going to be completely open to what it will be. At least I try to. And then I will judge it after the end. But right now, I'm not having too much of high hopes there.
Looking forward to Judgment Day. Maybe a late Christmas gift, since the movie's coming out on Christmas.
All right.
This is gonna be interesting. So, there's a comment on the trailer that says, "If you watch The Matrix backwards, it's about a guy who quit drugs and found a job." Oh my god, fucking love this.
Nice.
This is perfect. Excellent. Very good. Yeah, that's pretty much it, you know. Like I said, like I have a few theories. Maybe like that the outside world in the Matrix, just another layer of the Matrix itself, which would mean we have like some kind of Inception in the end. One little piece of very interesting trivia: Quentin Tarantino explained how the original trailer of The Matrix 1999 cleverly misled the viewers into thinking it's just another action film with no deeper meaning. And you can check out the trailer if you want afterwards. And if you watch the trailer, like, yeah, it's just like some action movie, summer blockbuster,
nice.
Whatever. And someone said in the comments, we can only pray that this is the case once more. Like, yeah, no. Like people hoping that what we see in the trailer is not what we get. No. Nowadays trailers give you exactly what you can expect from a movie.
Yeah, actually giving away too much in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, you can just tell where it's going.
Sure.
And even if there's some sort of plot twist, I'm sure it's gonna be stupid, like it's in most cases when they desperately try to make this crazy plot twist in the end.
See, but this is what made the Matrix work in the first place. It was actually quite simple. We had just one question: what is the Matrix? Right? This is how it started. The audience wanted to know, and this is the setup. It teased us a little bit, and then it presented the answer in a very satisfying way. This was the payoff. But the cat, no pun intended, is already out of the bag now, right? So what question or twist could they really add to the franchise now that we really want to know?
This is the key, because I remember in the beginning when Neo is at that party because he followed the White Rabbit, right?
Yep.
And Trinity asks him this question, that burning question, and you thought sitting there in the cinema, yes, I want to fucking know what the Matrix is. Just tell me, you know? And it was this emotion involved with that you could really feel with the protagonist, with Neo there, even though he didn't really have a character in the movie. But you could still really feel, I want to know that. There's something, I want to know what it is. Yep. And the funny thing is, even after you watched the movie, you couldn't really explain to people what the Matrix is. And this is also, is it a line in the movie? I don't remember. Yeah, Morpheus says it. You cannot explain what the Matrix is. You have to see it yourself. There was such a great meta line there because it was true in real life as well. You couldn't explain what it is. You had to see the movie. And with the new one, it's just like, I guess it's a new Matrix or something. I don't know. There's not really something that's interesting to it, you know?
Yeah.
It's sort of completely lacking the interest.
Someone in the comments said the fourth movie in the Matrix trilogy. such a great way to describe this movie, honestly. Oh my god, awesome. Oh my god, I think people gonna mostly stream this movie, given that the unknown virus of unspecified origin is gonna hit again in winter, probably. Who knows? And we're gonna wait for a week and sail the high seas. Who knows? Oh my god.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's.
Yeah,
the comments are great. So I'm also reading the comments next to that. They're funny, because the one dude said, "I feel like Keanu just rocked up on set in his everyday clothes, and the director was like, perfect. That's the look."
It is. It's
because I just saw on Google, funnily enough, an image of John Wick with Neo's glasses. It actually looks really good. Gotta be honest, like long hair but with glasses, sunglasses. That looked kind of cool. That would have been better than just a fucked up look.
Fucked up is good. It's like really, like he didn't get enough sleep or something. It's as if he's on some kind of pills. But I'm not getting into that. Oh my god,
okay, I got it. Yeah, he's on some kind of pills. Yeah, this also reminded me a little bit. Have you seen Equilibrium? I don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I know that movie, but my memory of it is very blurry. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, it's this movie where they don't swallow pills. They have some sort of injection in their veins, some sort of drug, every day to not feel emotions. Because the idea is that through emotions we started wars and all of this, and this society lives completely without that. And it sort of reminded me a little bit of that when I saw the scene with him swallowing blue pills every day to desperately stay in this state, sort of, and not wanting to know reality, which I think is actually could be a great story. That he actually sort of deeply knows what the Matrix is, but he desperately tries to not be part of it because he's afraid of it, because that would be most people in real life.
I see, like instead of accepting reality. This is interesting because interesting concept to explore, because I remember when we did the first episode, I was asking you, do you actually, because you know what reality looks like, do you actually like reality the way it is? You know, and that's an interesting concept, you know, because that's like the next step. After you, the first step, like wake up, and the second step, like actually surviving in this reality, or actually like thriving, or this whole masculinity with pleasure bullshit. You know? It's actually what we do, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people even realize that our logo is a red pill. So yeah, guess where this comes from, guys.
Yeah.
But
I even wanted Lawrence Fishburne to come over for a photo shooting to like hold this microphone, but I thought it would be not subtle enough. So
yeah. You think people didn't understand it or won't understand it?
Oh my god, I fucking love this show. I missed it.
Yeah, it's always fun, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that's all that it is for now. The rest is all speculation. But,
yeah, of course.
But one thing for sure, we're gonna tear this movie apart one way or another. As soon as it comes out.
I'm so curious, though. I mean, when I initially heard about The Matrix 4, I was like, come on, they're really gonna ruin my most favorite franchise, or one of my most favorite franchises. I'm like, oh god, get out of here.
Yeah.
But now I'm like really curious. I really want to watch that movie. I might hate it afterwards, maybe, but I really want to know where they're going with this, and what she really cooked up in her dream, that lady or man, whatever. Yeah, but again, after what we talked about here today, the hopes are not that high, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my god. I'm gonna close the stream now with a quote from Prince. We all know Prince, of course. I think it's from a song. I found it long before we started this stream, and there's always some kind of situation I wanted to wait for to drop this little thing here. Just a few sentences from him. Prince once said in one of his songs, "Everybody wants to sell what's already been sold. Everybody wants to tell what's already been told. What's the use of money if you ain't gonna break the mold? Even at the center of fire, there's cold, and all that glitters ain't gold." Yeah, it's
damn.
It pretty much describes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Especially these days, I would say.
Very deep. I was seeing this because, like, yeah, it fits perfectly to what I've seen, like in this trailer.
Absolutely, and I think it actually fits to most reboots, as we talked about before. Most
interesting foresight from Prince. It was many years ago where he was writing those lyrics, and back in the days it wasn't that hard as it is now. So
yes,
very very interesting foresight there.
Yeah, some artists are really ahead of their time,
and some just stuck in John Wick look.
Yes,
just like get a shave, dude. All right, man. Okay, let's call it a day. Next week we're gonna be back. Like, hopefully a movie, not just a trailer. And more information coming soon on Twitter as well. Okay, Alex. Anything else you want to say to the Press Red Smog audience?
No, I'm gonna pull that one again.
Yeah, I so like the best thing is if you give yourself like 3 seconds of pause, because everyone is like, oh, something interesting is going, something important is going, and then it's like, no. Fucking on it, man. Yeah, you guys gotta deal with German humor here, man. That's Red Smoke.
Yes.
Alright, we'll be back next week. We are now back regularly again. Hope you didn't miss us, guys, and I'll talk to you next week again. Until then, have a nice time, and don't swallow any blue pills.